Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 176. I'm your host Rico, here with my co-host
Dane Cody.
Dane, Cody, and I get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, and or whatever the hell we like. Obviously, most likely, and all the time, video games.
Video games.
With a little bit of gadgets, a little bit of hardware meltdowns, a little bit of Rico rants.
All the good stuff.
Yeah. If you've never been here before, we start with what you've been playing, get into some news and stuff, our free-for-all section, and of course, our little BS off the top here as we are doing this exact moment. It was a happy Thanksgiving up here in Canada this last weekend, which is kind of nice. Little turkey dinners for everyone, hopefully, maybe.
I didn't get one, but we did do like a dinner with friends, so there was no turkey, unfortunately.
I had 2 turkey dinners, but I ain't going to complain because I love turkey.
You're a bastard.
And I didn't have any computers break, or PS4s, or any hardware.
That's key. That makes for a good weekend.
I don't have an update on the hard drive situation besides my SSDs were warrantied.
Yay.
So those are getting replaced. I haven't received that repaired board on my mechanical drive to see how that worked out, which I'm very eager to find out.
Any word on how far along that is? Like, have they said
they fixed it? They said they fixed it last week, and he said I'm shipping it right away. And I would have expected it by now, but we had a long weekend, so
that's true.
That might have screwed things up, or maybe he didn't ship it off till this week, or I don't know. Either way,
hopefully next week we'll have an update.
If it doesn't show up by next week, there's gonna be some issues. I'll be very upset.
Fair enough.
I imagine by next week my replacement drives will show up, and I did manage to get my PS4's hard drive replaced as well.
Excellent.
Through nefarious dark means.
Magic, bro. Magic.
Yeah,
dark magic.
So screw Sony, screw Seagate.
All right.
But yeah, everything should be good in the world by next week. I'm pretty sure that board replacement is going to work, so I'm looking forward to that. But I will say, my computer with the M2 drive is very snappy.
It's a nice way to go, man. I'm glad I did it on mine.
I also went nuclear on my cell phone as well.
Oh boy,
which I haven't done.
Tell me you backed it up before you did that.
Oh yeah, I didn't. I didn't lose anything there. I decided to wipe it because I hadn't done it since Android Pie came out. I kind of, whenever there's a new OS on my phone, I kind of just like to flush, start clean. And it was doing some weird stuff, so...
Sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, not really. It takes like 2 minutes, and then I don't install a bunch of apps that I never used. I don't have Facebook on my phone. Didn't even reinstall it.
Look at you go.
Don't need it. Didn't install like Snapchat and a couple other things. Like, nah, I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need you. Thank you very much.
Fair enough.
So that feels nice.
Or you could just do like what I do and just uninstall the apps that you don't use.
That's true. It's a psychological thing. I like the nuclear option.
I feel like it is at this point.
Like my PS4 with the new hard drive now, I only have like 2 things on my cross media bar or whatever the hell you want to call it, my desktop dashboard.
Yeah.
I have Assassin's Creed and Astro Rescue Mission.
Nice.
And then I don't have this guilt of seeing a million games there. It's actually kind of nice.
Kind of freeing.
Yeah, it's like, no, you got to play this or this. Nothing else. No distractions. You play what you have in front of you.
That's actually not a bad idea.
So I'm actually honestly contemplating blowing up my Xbox hard drive and doing the same thing there.
Or just deleting everything off of it. And only
it's just faster to just fucking just nuke it. Go get rid of all the digital cockroaches and nonsense under the hood. Just start fresh.
Hey, man, whatever helps you sleep at night.
Like new beginning. So I'm honestly really considering doing it on my Xbox as well. I know it's weird. It's psychological. I have problems.
Yeah.
If you've been here for 176 episodes, you already know this.
Yeah.
I collect amiibo.
Yes, that's one of your many flaws.
So I guess unless you have any stories from the weekend, Dane, we can get into what you've been playing.
No stories from the weekend.
Right. So Dane,
Yeah.
what you been playing?
Oh man, I played a whole bunch more Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
As did I.
What level are you now?
I'm about to hit 17.
Okay, so you're still a little bit below me as far as level goes.
Yeah. So
I just hit 19.
So spoiler alert. I got to Athens.
Oh, okay.
And I've done a few missions after that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just about done with Athens.
I think I've unlocked all the systems now.
From what I can tell, sure. Yeah, the like the headhunting thing.
Do you think that's a spoiler?
I don't know. I don't think so, because I think everybody has kind of been talking about the cult system, which...
Oh, okay. There you go.
There's...
I was going to say, spoiler alert, fast forward for a minute. I've unlocked the cultist system.
Yeah, I don't necessarily feel like it's that... I don't know. This game layers on, like I said, right around the time you think you're getting everything. All of a sudden they're like, oh, by the way, boom, you can do these giant battles, and like there's this whole aspect of that. And then right around the time you actually think you've figured it all out, they're like, boom, there's this whole cultist system, and you can go hunt 44 cultists down and murder them.
Is that how many there are?
Yeah. 44.
And then, boom, here's the forge. Another new thing.
Like, oh man, well keep that to yourself. But I'm level.
Oh, nice. Actually, I was gonna say, I was getting to a point where it was getting very annoying with abilities. So this isn't. I'm not gonna go into the fine details, but you get another ability wheel, basically, for your melee abilities.
Yeah.
Because I was at a point where I was always having to go in the menu and switch stuff out.
Right.
Because I could only assign 4.
Yep.
And through story progression, you will get another unlock. So
you can get 8 altogether.
Yeah, which is pretty nice. That almost accommodates all of them, but I'm not in menu switching them all the time now.
Yeah. I've got mine set up to have like one of the wheels is more or less assassin stuff, and the other wheel is like melee.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. Depending on where I was, I would have like my assassin abilities, like that. You got that ranged assassination move?
Yeah,
that you can chain. That thing's amazing. I love it.
Especially but then when you like upgrade it once or twice.
Yeah, but when you're fighting, once you get out of stealth and you're fighting, you're down an ability because that's taking up one of your buttons.
Yep.
So I was like, man, they really need... I'm like, am I missing a button combination here? Like at first I was like, what's going on? I'm like, I feel like I should be able to like hold a different button and then map these buttons again. And I was like, oh, I don't know what's going on. And then I progressed in the story and like, I can unlock it by doing this.
Yeah.
So
yeah. No, that's cool, man. I've killed 7 cultists, I think.
Yeah, I think I got 3. Because a couple happened to be like right where I was at in the story. And I'm like, I'm going to go kill these guys.
Yeah.
So, like Jane alluded to, basically, this cultist system is you've got, is it 5 heads of the cult? And then like the main guy?
So there's like 5 regular guys, then a main guy that gets you into the big wheel, and then in the big wheel there's like, oh man, I can't remember. All I know is I counted it, and there was 44 altogether.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of subordinates.
Like the main guy in the middle or whatever.
So there's a bunch of subordinates underneath the main heads of the of the cult. And as you kill lower members, you get hints about the head guys. and their identities aren't revealed until you collect enough hints. And even the lower guys are obscured from you knowing who they are until you either find them through the story mode or through like doing side quests and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then you unlock hints, and then eventually you unlock their identity, which basically puts them on your map. It's like, here they are, go kill them.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it doesn't just reveal who they are. You actually have to like go in and hit the button and hold it down to like wait to see who they are.
Mm-hmm. And some of them you may or may not have already even ran into.
Yeah, totally. No, that man. Oh, that game is so big. All I want to do is keep playing it. I played it a lot Saturday morning and Sunday morning. That was like the big game that I played both of those days. Pretty much all those days. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I kind of came across. It does seem like certain missions do, in a weird way, cap out entirely. So I have run into a couple missions where I was like a couple levels higher than the mission was. Mm-hmm. And it seemed to kind of have stayed at a like
side missions sort of or main storyline ones.
Side missions. So far,
sense.
all the story missions have scaled with me.
Level with you.
Yeah, so because I hit level 19, and that's the sort of the top cap that Athens was. Mm-hmm. And then of course,
that's right. I think it's like 17 to 19 when I got there on the map.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm 19 now, and so like everything is essentially just 19, level 19, and nothing's less than that anymore.
Yeah, I did a conquest battle.
Nice.
One level below. That's not a good idea.
No. Did you lose?
Yeah, I didn't die, but I couldn't kill guys fast enough to get all the captains down.
Yeah.
Because I was down a level, so yeah, don't do that. Find out the hard way.
I tried to do one, and I actually died, and it was interesting because when I reloaded, I thought, well, I'll just have to try it again. But you can't. They're like the results of that battle. Like, so it was funny because we were winning. Like, I was on the team that essentially ended up winning that battle. Mm-hmm. But because I died during it, I didn't get any of the benefit from
you didn't
winning.
Get the rewards.
Right. But the battle finished, and like that whole area was completely like fortified all the way to the top, and I would have had to like start all the way again
with the guys you helped.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, shit.
I lost the one battle and I got to an area that was already weak. So I'm like, I'll just go do this conquest battle and get some cool epic rewards quickly. No, we lost. And then it's like, now it's full. So now I actually have to go around and do all the shit to lower their fortification level.
Yeah.
So the whole conquest system, in a little more depth, is each of the regions have the two warring factions, the Athenians, right?
Yeah, and
the Spartans in every region, and either or is in control. And when you choose to attack the other faction, you get more rewards usually as the attacking group.
It's harder.
It tends to be harder. Defending, you have less. You get it's just one. It's either you get like 2 legendaries or rare or whatever. It depends. I guess it changes.
Get 3 epic if you're attacking and 2 epic if you're defending.
Yeah, so you can, I think in some instances, you can go start this conquest battle, like, I think right away when you get to a region. The problem is you can sway the strength of the defending team by burning their weapon stockpiles, stealing their national treasure, which is basically the currency they use to pay their soldiers, taking out the region, like assassinating the region leader, and there's a few other things you can do in a region, and there's like 3 bars you can tick down, and when it's in its lowest, that obviously gives you the best advantage if you're going to say join the attacking team. Yeah, and of course, if you want to go on the defending team, you don't have to do anything, and it's obviously a little easier, but you get less reward. Some of the stuff ties into some of the story missions. Some of it doesn't. It's just like the forts, kind of like taking out forts, doing the little challenges in each of the forts, kind of like taking out outposts.
There's one near the beginning of the game that they make you do.
Yeah, to teach you
like part of the story and to teach you the system. But after that, in all honesty, the war system, from what I can tell, so far at least, like, I mean, and in all honesty, I've barely scratched the surface still.
I don't think...
From what I can tell, it's optional after that.
Yeah, you might have to do it again in later story missions.
Yeah, but so far it has not come to that at all.
It's just like it's like another system to like 100% an area kind of thing.
Yeah, or just play with, and it's like a way to, I don't know, because like loot. You can... And it doesn't, because you're a mercenary, you can totally like fight for the Spartans, fight for
it doesn't matter. There's no repercussions. Just it seems like,
which is partly like it's a neat system.
You're a mercenary. You're fighting with them or against them. I guess they don't hold grudges or whatever. But
yeah, it's kind of, once I realized that there wasn't really any real reason to do it, I've been kind of like, yeah, I got enough shit to deal with. I don't. Like, if it tells me, like, if I need to burn stockpiles in order to finish a fort, I'll do that.
Steal the stockpiles before you burn them.
Oh, heck yeah. You get a bunch of stuff. But yeah, outside of that, like, I'm really not going out of my way to do them, so...
I did... I wanted to bang off that easy one, because I'm like, oh, it's, like, good... I want to get a couple legendaries, so I want to upgrade my gear because, you know, I'm still wearing blues. I'm not like all decked out and...
Oh, man.
You know,
I'm entirely wearing yellows and purples right now.
Yeah,
I've got...
I could, but I don't...
3 or 4 legendaries and the rest are epics. And I just keep bringing them along with me.
Yeah, I have enough to get out of the blues, but I haven't bothered wasting any money on upgrading anything. I feel like I don't want to do it until I like hit level 20 and then I bring up all my yellows.
Pro tip, it gets real expensive when you do it that way.
Yeah, I know, but I think it's the same cost regardless, whether you do it level by level or wait.
I'm not sure. All I know is that, like, looking at some of that stuff that I've got that was like,
yeah, the more levels is definitely
it's like,
definitely more expensive.
To bring that up is going to cost me a lot of resources.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, at least for me, I've been finding it easier just to like upgrade every 1 or 2 levels.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't done any.
Plus, having some of that stuff on, man, like, it gives you a massive advantage.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Having the extra
I'm wearing
stuff.
like 3 yellows right now. But a couple of my purples are like in the slots that I haven't got epics are like, they're so low level. I'm like, I don't want to upgrade these because I'm going to get something better.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I'm just
That's the other thing is when you kill the cultists, you get a piece of legendary gear. And when you kill the heads of each of the like ones, you get like a gear set, which is pretty rad.
Yeah, I noticed there's like whole quests for that show you I think level 18 is like the first one you can get a whole set for.
Yeah, I'm getting close on the one.
But yeah, you can't just go after them. You got to do everyone underneath them. So
yeah, exactly. I think I have 1 left in... I've killed 4 out of 5 in one of the things right now.
It's the guy in the top left, I think.
No, actually, for me, it's the bottom left.
Really?
That one, I've got almost all of them in the bottom left.
I wonder if it's some kind of randomness to it.
It wouldn't surprise me.
It's a neat system. Like another layer.
It's fun to mess around with. Apparently, FYI, from what I understand, there's a couple that are story gated.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So
if you can't find a guy or never get a hint on the tip.
Yeah, so like I know of other people that have been like running around an area looking for those hints because it gives you a hint saying like, oh, maybe you should go help out the people around here or whatever, and they're doing all of that, trying to figure out what's going on, and they found out later like, oh, I did a story quest and like that's when it popped it in that area or whatever. So just, you know, as a heads up.
If it isn't easily discoverable, figure it's probably tied to a story quest.
Yeah, or you know, kind of
quest.
come back later or something, right? So
yeah, I'm still really digging it. I want to play more. It's definitely peeled me off the Destiny a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely think about it a lot more than I care to admit, that's for sure. It's a really good game. Like, I'm liking a lot of the aspects of it a lot.
It's not perfect. It's got a little bit of jank.
Oh yeah, it's like I said before, it's got a little bit of jank. There's a few things that I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't necessarily know if it needed to be as big as it is. Like, there's a part of me that feels like maybe it's a little too big. Like, maybe if they would have made it a little smaller, they could have kind of polished it up a little, and maybe, I don't know, like, there's a little bit of me that feels like, holy cow, did they kind of lose themselves when they realized they had an extra year or two or whatever it was to, like, build this? They're like, let's make it bigger. Like, I don't know.
I can see how last week you were complaining about the scaling, leveling. I'm starting to think I'm not a huge fan of it. Because
there's been just a few times where, like, because most of the time the game is good with, like, the way you level. Like, you kind of level with the game as it's designed for, which is great. But every once in a while you'll run into something and it's just like, okay, well, you know what? I'll come back to this in a bit or whatever.
Or you won't.
Except now it, like, scales with you, and now it's just like, okay, well, it's essentially going to always just be this difficult or whatever. Yeah. And I may or may not bother to come back to it. Like,
it's kind of like I'm cleaning up all the boxes on the map in an area. And then when I'm almost done that area, I kind of just want the side missions to be like cakewalks.
Right,
because I've done everything in that area.
Because you're strong now, you're stronger, you've leveled up, so. But
it never becomes a cakewalk. It's not that it's hard. It's just you can't walk in and just one shot everyone.
No, and when you do forts and stuff, you got to be careful because those because you don't have that shield anymore, right? Like,
no, so getting outnumbered can be pretty deadly quick.
That's why, like, fighting some of those big conquest battle things can be really frustrating because you could have, like, 2 or 3 guys all attacking you kind of at once and stuff.
Yeah. I see what they're going for, though. They want the combat to mean something, whereas, the end of Origins, I could destroy everyone with no challenge.
Yeah, and also I
assume with a good gear set and weapons at level 50, that's what this game will be like. But at level 50, at level cap, it makes sense to be powerful and F everyone up. When you're leveling up, everyone's on the same page as you. Or they're way more powerful than you because you ran into a level 30-something freaking bounty hunter who one-shotted you.
Yeah, that could definitely happen.
Oh, it's happened.
What level have you jumped into the next tier of? Are you tier 8, 7?
I think I'm at the top of tier 8, and tier 7 has the arena, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see the arena. I'm at the very end of tier 8. Like, I guess one more kill, I go into the next tier.
Okay. Because you start at tier 9, then you drop down to tier 8, and so on and so forth.
I'm all the way to the right of tier 8. So,
okay, yeah, I think I have one more kill to be tier 7.
Yeah, I've killed everyone I see that's of the same level of me or +1.
Yeah,
and there haven't been too many because I haven't been causing too much of a ruckus in the area I'm in right now. In the first area, I was causing a lot of problems, so I had it all the way up to 3.
Yeah, I had 4 or 5 the other day, which was a little bit annoying.
Yeah, because you're trying to do a mission and their horn goes off, and it's like, God damn, I'm just trying to kill these scrubs over here. And then this big-ass mercenary shows up.
At one point, I had 3 of them that all showed up at the same time, and I murdered them all.
But it wasn't easy.
Luckily, they were all within the level tolerance for me. But the thing was, they all showed up, but I had to kind of break them apart in certain.
You had to separate them and pull them away from each other.
It was
a little bit of a juggling.
It was about a half an hour, and it was stressful. Maybe not quite that long, but yeah, it was definitely stressful, and it took a little while, that's for sure. But I finally did And then I found the fool that was like, put the bounty out on me, and I killed his ass.
Oh, yeah. That's the other thing is, as your bounty level goes up in any region, it goes up to level 5, which means more mercenaries are hunting for you. And it's a result of you, causing havoc in the area.
Murdering, beating up civilians.
Taking out the war supplies, stuff like that.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
So people
put hits. If you murder somebody in, so there's, when you go to the bounty board, some of those like bounties that you get like on the notice board or whatever are to murder people. Some of them are like murder this politician or murder
some
this,
of them are
like,
even
person.
for go after other bounty hunters.
Totally. So if you go take one of those and then like you go murder that politician in front of a bunch of people, that's a guarantee they will somebody will put a bounty on your ass for murder. So now, you gotta be a little smarter about it. Maybe knock that dude out and then take him off somewhere where people aren't watching and then murder him.
And they, it shows who put a hit out on you.
Exactly.
So you can pay off the bounty and lower your wanted level, or you can take out the guys who put the hits out on you.
I've just murdered them all.
Yeah. If they're near me, I'll do it. But I've had a couple where they're like, I'm not going all the way over there. I guess I'm just killing anyone who comes after me.
Yeah, I've been unlocking every fast travel point that I come across.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
That's helpful. There's been a few times where oh, you're over there. Hey,
Do.
Yeah, I gotta kill you.
Hello, I'm here. I fast traveled and stabbed your face.
Exactly.
So we're still having a lot of fun with that. That's good. I like it a lot.
It's so good.
In between going from parents and family and stuff, I've been playing Mega Man 11 on my Switch.
Oh, nice.
I have beat Mega Man 11 on my Switch.
Already?
Well, I played it on easy mode.
Oh, okay.
Just to run through the game, get the gist of it.
Sure,
now,
yeah.
I'm halfway through. I've beaten there's 2 easy modes.
Okay.
There's I can't remember what they're called. I think it's casual and then beginner and then normal and then superhero or something like that.
Oh, so you kind of started at the very bottom.
I started at the very bottom, which is a cakewalk.
Right.
You just walk through the game. And then the second one was still easy, and now I'm on normal, and I'm a quarter of the way through normal. So, yeah, I really like it. It's Mega Man. The double gear system is kind of neat, slowing time or turning on the extra damage attack.
Right.
It's neat. The slowing time really comes in handy. It can make dealing with some enemies very, very easy. Especially handy against bosses to slow down time, avoid their attacks, use the power against them that they're weak against.
Right.
I just took out Acid Man, and he's weak to Blockman's power. I can't remember the name of it. But I just destroyed him because I was just slowing down time, dodging his attacks, turning it off, attacking him. He'd do something, slow down time. And I don't know, some people have complained that kind of changes Mega Man, but I don't know.
I feel that's the point, though. I feel in 2018, we should be changing Mega Man for crying out loud.
Or if you don't like it, you don't have to use it.
Yeah, that's also true.
It definitely helps you learn the patterns, because there was a battle that I had to do multiple times. Because the difficulty on normal is much harder than the other two. It's classic Mega Man. It's this is a challenge.
Right.
Not super hard, but you got to remember the patterns, where the enemies are, what's coming up next, and actually dodge stuff and not just brute force your way through the level.
Right.
Because you got to get to the boss with a decent amount of life to fight the boss.
Yep.
And I got to a point with Blockman where I knew his attacks and I knew how to dodge all the stuff without even slowing down time anymore. Because I was, for whatever reason, I was having a hard time with him, because he's the first guy they suggest you to go after as Blockman.
Okay.
But he transforms into a big giant ass robot. So he has a couple phases and a lot of attacks.
Right.
And in normal, he does so much more damage. So if you're sloppy, it's oh man.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm a quarter of the way now on the 3rd difficulty. I really like it. It's great. It's so
what you're saying is Mega Man 11, 2 thumbs up for you.
Yeah, I like it a lot. My daughter likes watching me play it.
Fair enough.
Why is Mega Man breaking everything? Why is he breaking? I want to see the little girl. There's a little shop where you can buy items and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
And she's in the roll is in the shop, and she likes seeing me buy stuff from her because she like jumps up and talks. Are you sure, Mega?
That's funny.
Is that what you want, Mega? Are you sure, Mega? She's like, I want to see the little girl.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the shop, Dr. Light's lab, you can unlock upgrades.
Yep.
So you can unlock, for example, there's one that automatically applies any energy tanks you get to like the lowest charged weapon you have.
Oh, okay.
So instead of having to change to the weapon, pick up the energy, the weapon energy to charge that weapon, it just automatically charges it.
Oh,
and then
that's
there's
nice.
one that charges it against all your stuff balanced.
Right.
There's a chip that always like auto charges your Mega Buster. So instead of you having to hold down the button, it's always continually as if you're holding down the button. And then you can just tap and release like your fully charged attack more often.
Yeah.
That makes that's kind of nice. There's another one where your bullets are bigger, so it's easier to hit stuff.
Yep.
So obviously there's going to be like speed runs of like no double gear system and no upgrades and different challenge. Because definitely, like, I noticed like going from level 1 to level 2, like I bought that charging your Mega Buster upgrade. Mm-hmm. It makes such a difference because it just turns up your like you can do it manually, but it's so much easier when it's just consistently charging at max efficiency that you just unleash it like all the time. I do notice it's a lot easier playing with the Pro Controller on TV. It's not bad by any means on the Switch with the Joy-Cons.
Right.
But it's definitely easier with the Pro Controller.
That makes sense.
I don't know if it's the size of the screen and be able to see stuff better, or if it's just it's probably a combination of both. Being able to see everything a little clearer on a giant TV and the controller.
Yeah, I mean, I find that controller is a lot better than the Joy-Cons, though.
Yeah.
Like, those Joy-Cons for a lot of things are fine, but man, when it comes to some stuff, I'm just like, oh, this is terrible.
It's it is pricey, though, like $40 Canadian, 30 American. I would have liked 20 and 30.
Yeah, that's...
I wish I had it.
I mean, how long is it? Like, how long have all of your playthroughs been? Like 3-4 hours?
I think the
like
first
2-3
time I
hours?
ran through it was about on the easy difficulty. Was like probably 3 hours. And that's just like I didn't know.
It's not super long.
No, it's not long because I beat it on the difficulty up from that, which is harder than the easiest difficulty. And I think I ran through it in a little over an hour.
Whoa. Well, I guess once you've kind of know how
once
everything
you know where
works,
everything
right?
is and what you're doing, it's like, I really like it, though. It's pretty pricey, though. I feel like $20 would have been
a better price.
Yeah. And I played extra because I got the stupid Amiibo edition. I haven't used the Amiibo functionality. Apparently, it's like a cheat, basically.
Huh.
I think you get energy or
thought?
life if you scan an Amiibo. I gotta try that, actually. I'll report on that next week.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about your game first, or you want me to talk about my next game first?
Let's finish with what I'm sure we both have some talk about. Something there to talk about.
So Sony, code provided by PlayStation, or game provided by PlayStation, hashtag Astrobot Rescue Mission for PSVR.
I've been seeing this. A lot of people were raving about this, saying how it was great.
I had it. I got it before launch, but with my PS4 dying and all that nonsense going on, I lost a lot of time, so I didn't actually get a chance to play it before last week's podcast. But I played it this weekend. That game's awesome for a VR game. It's
so like So I played the Playroom, which is there was these little.
Do you remember the Astrobot mission?
Yeah,
the one where you go through controlling the guy, platforming and fighting and stuff.
Right.
It's a whole game of that.
Oh,
with a lot more depth, bigger levels, boss fights, hidden secrets, a lot more like manipulating the world. I imagine it's like a sci-fi Moss.
Okay.
Because you use the DualShock.
Yep.
You peek around corners with your VR headset, leaning around, trying to figure out where guys are hiding. And basically, it's just a 3D platformer and you're like hovering over the world, kind of in the world, guiding your little Superbot, Astrobot guy through the level to the end. And basically, there's a little cutscene, little story. Their ship is attacked in outer space, and it's destroyed, and the little Astrobots are spread across the galaxy. And I think there's 5 or 6 worlds, multiple stages in each world, and it seems like there's always 8 robots hidden in a level.
Okay, so
plus another.
All right.
Plus you collect coins.
You gotta find them, and that's like
and they're hiding, kind of like little environmental puzzles. You gotta navigate. It's a straight up 3D platformer. You control the little Astrobot guy with the DualShock, and you just run and jump and punch. You can like walk across tight ropes. You can do a grappling hook as you're playing a big robot that's going through the level, or a bigger robot.
A bigger robot,
and you have the DualShock in your hand. And right now, all I've unlocked so far is like a grappling hook ability that you use to interact with the level.
Right.
But, there's bounce pads. There's all kinds of. I haven't seen all the stuff it has to offer.
Right.
But if you played that little,
it's got some substance to it, though.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's an awesome platformer. It's so much fun. That's
awesome.
And visually it looks really good. Like in VR, like obviously the type of graphics they have going on are very really bright and colorful, and they play really well with the VR, right?
Kind of that like blocky, like clean, cartoony look, right? So,
and your little guy, I can't remember his name. I should remember his name. He animates so well. He does little dances. He talks to you to get your attention in the level. As you're going through a level, again, you're finding all the other little robots hidden in the level, and they're hiding. Sometimes they're like straight up hiding because they're scared because there's enemies and like obstacles. Some of them are just like straight up hiding, and you have to find them. Some of them are like waving to get your attention, to like come get me.
Come get
me. And it's kind of funny when you find them. You go over and you like kick them in the butt. And they have like a little backpack, and then they like fly through the air, and then they like fly into the DualShock, like the controller you're holding.
Oh, that's
cool. As you collect them, they're all like sitting in the middle of the touchpad, like making noises and cheering and waving and stuff like that.
That's pretty awesome.
It's kind of funny. Like I said, big ass boss battles, fun puzzles, like platforming puzzles. I'm just reading here that actually there's a demo apparently coming out next week, so if you
excellent.
check it out. It's I believe 50 Canadian, 40 American.
Okay.
I played Moss, and Moss is very similar, except for you controlled the little mouse. Instead of fantasy, this is sci-fi.
Right.
I think, was Moss like levels or like one big kind of linear story?
I mean, it's essentially one big linear story, but there was like chapters or whatever.
So I guess this one is 2, but it's like little worlds, and each world has a stage. And like I said, you find the 8 guys and yada yada whatnot. I like it a lot. I'm having a lot of fun.
Like I said, I heard a lot of really good things, and I really want to check it out.
It's from Sony's Japan studio. It's obviously PSVR exclusive. You probably won't see it on any other system. And it's basically a full game of the robot rescue demo from the Playroom VR.
Because I did, like, that was a lot of fun, the robot rescue stuff. So I definitely enjoyed it.
It is a lot of fun. It's just, I'm playing it and just laughing, and I'm just having fun. Like, it's great when there's just a game you're just having fun with. Like
that's how I felt with like Moss. It was so cute and so fun, and it had so much charm. And I was just like, I just want to play this. This is so great. So.
It's definitely exuding a lot of charm and character, and it controls so well, and it's neat. I really like the aesthetic and the characters, and it's a fun little game.
That's awesome.
So if you're looking for something for your PSVR, I highly recommend it. It makes me want to go buy Moss, but I'm only a couple worlds in on this, so I got to beat this first before I even consider Moss. Speaking of Moss, I believe Moss is part of a pack-in. They've updated the PSVR pack-in bundles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 'cause they just sell it kind of in the news. It kind of
that would be a rad pack-in.
Yeah, they're celebrating the PSVR's second birthday. I think it's like this month. I believe is this month. So they've updated the bundles with like Moss and like Creed. I think there's like 2 games now, depending with each bundle, as opposed to just one.
Right.
And I'll figure that out. Anyway,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
I definitely will.
If you're looking for something on your PSVR, I would highly recommend it.
Sweet.
So you downloaded some Forza Horizon, I take it?
Yeah, I finally did. I got off my Tuchus and downloaded some Forza Horizon 4.
For free?
Yes, through Games Pass. So it's funny. I started downloading it on my Xbox One. Then I played a bunch of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Then I had to go. And then I came back. So on Monday, because it was a holiday for us, I thought, oh man, I played a ton of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I should really play some Forza Horizon. So I went to play it because I had started downloading it. And it had only got apparently like a quarter of the way downloaded on my Xbox before it shut itself off. And didn't finish the download, which was super annoying. So I started that up again, went to my PC where I had also downloaded it, and started playing it on there. That game runs really good on my PC.
Oh yeah, I haven't.
And it runs at 60 frames on my PC.
I haven't installed it on my PC because
you should.
I heard
you really should.
I heard that it has like an install or update forever bug.
I don't know. It seemed fine, and it I installed it and I started playing it on my PC, and then it finished on my Xbox One, and I might just keep playing that on my PC. Actually, I don't know.
Probably would because you have an old Xbox, right?
I do. I have the original, and it runs 60 on my PC, and it looks probably as good or better
than X
than the one on my TV.
No, it would definitely look better than your Xbox. And it probably looks better than the Xbox One X version as well.
That being said, I did play it on both just because I could.
I do like how
seamlessly went over. I started it, played a whole bunch of it on my PC, and then I closed it and then launched it on my Xbox One, and boom. It just pulled my cloud save, and I continued on where I was, which was rad.
Xbox does an awesome. They handle that so well.
It's really seamless, and it's really nice. So that part of it was awesome. But yeah, I played a whole bunch of Forza Horizon 4. That game's cool. I got to admit, the way that they start that game off is incredible.
The intro,
holy crap!
Mission.
Within 30 seconds of you launch that game, and they're just pick. I don't even think it asks you to pick a. I think it just asks you to pick your avatar right off the bat, and then after that, and then it's just boom. The next thing you know, you're watching a video, and then you're driving in the video. It hands control over to you, and you're just playing. It's pretty rad. It's pretty neat. They do a little intro video where you do summer, spring, autumn, winter, all kind of within one little race type thing, which is pretty cool. A couple of different vehicles, all the different seasons, all kind of wrapped into a really quick little thing. And then they drop you into the world, and you're I think I want to say it's summer when you start, and you're playing, and then essentially they ask you to get enough influence points to kick over into
qualify for the autumn season.
Yeah. And then once you get enough, then it kicks you over into you qualify for the winter season. So I'm actually in the winter season right now, almost done.
Oh, wow, you played a lot.
Yeah, I played that almost all day on Monday. That was the game. I was my plan was to play Assassin's Creed
at work, right?
Yeah, she had to work on Monday, so I had pretty much the whole day. I actually watched a movie in the morning, and then started playing some Forza Horizon 4.
I had Tuesday to myself, but I played Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, And like that was the thing, is I'd played Assassin's Creed for like Sunday morning and Monday, Saturday and Sunday. I was like, man, I'll play something a little different so I don't completely burn out on Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, not a terrible idea.
So yeah, I bought a second house. That's kind of a neat thing. You can buy houses in that game. There's a whole bunch of them around. There was one that was worth $2 million. Needless to say, I did not buy that one.
Apparently, there's one that lets you fast travel unlimited anywhere.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
So apparently that's the house to buy, because you have to pay to fast travel in this.
Do you really?
Yeah, you have to use credits to fast travel.
I didn't even notice that.
I think some houses might have the ability to fast travel too for free, but this one mansion unlocks like free unlimited fast travels.
That's kind of cool. So I bought. So you get, if you do one of the stunt missions near the beginning, they give you a house for doing the stunt.
Yeah, that's right, for doing the first one.
Yeah, so I got one free house, and then
maybe they don't give it to you
one
after the first one, the second or third, maybe. But
no, it's for the first one.
Is it for the first one? Okay.
Yeah,
well, I've done 3 or 4 of the stunt missions. So
yeah, I did 3 of the stunt missions. I've done a bunch of the off-road stuff. I got this dope off-road car, and I've just been like cruising through a whole bunch of those.
Which one? The Subaru?
No, come on. I went with the oh man, my mind is just completely blanking right now. It's the Lancia. Yeah. The Lancia, and it's rad. It's so sweet. It's a Lancia Stradale, which is pretty dope car. I bought a couple Alfa Romeos, which is pretty sweet. I won a couple other cars. I won a Bentley and an Alfa Romeo.
How many stupid hats did you get?
Oh God, I don't know. I see what you mean, though.
Isn't it stupid? It really pissed me off.
So because there is an avatar system in the game, you can like dress your avatar with clothes and different swag, and then you see your avatar in cutscenes and when you win a race and stuff. But when you level up either your car or your person or whatever, because there's the different like races. There's like the off-road races and the street races and the road races and the cross-country races. And the more of those that you do, the higher you level up in that particular field. And so every time you level up in those fields, you earn yourself like spins on a wheel. And you can earn super spins, which gets you 3. It essentially spins 3 wheels at a time
simultaneously.
And so you win 3 prizes instead of just 1.
Increase your odds of not getting stupid cosmetic crap.
But yeah, they've definitely added in a bunch of cosmetic stuff for your avatar, which can definitely be a little bit annoying when you're like hoping for obviously like credits or a car.
I think I've done like 10 or 15 spins and won 2 cars.
Yeah, I've won a couple cars now. The barn finds are back, which is pretty rad.
I got my first one.
I've done 3 now. I think they're timed. They show up on like randomly. It's interesting though. Like unlike the last game, you don't seem like there's a timer on how long you have to find it. It just gives you like you'll be cruising around in the world and you'll get like an alert saying like, hey, there's this like car that's here, and if you go over to that area, you got to comb that area to find the car, which is pretty cool. So I found a Subaru through that actually. I got a old STI, which is pretty sweet, and then I got another. I want to say I got another off-road rally car as well.
I don't know what car I got in my first one. I can't remember.
But yeah, so I'm on the winter right now, just finishing up the winter area. I've got close to 10 cars in my stable so far, which is nice. Nothing too extreme yet.
I have a decent amount of cars because I had got the freaking super duper edition,
right,
from Microsoft. Thank you, Microsoft.
Yeah. Yeah, and it included like a bunch of. There was the one like off-road pack or whatever that was free. I haven't purchased a bunch of those yet. The tuning is all back. you can tune the cars as much as you want. It can get real super granular and super crazy. You can adjust pretty much everything if you want, all the way down to like transmission ratios and gear ratios and torque curves. You can get super nerdy about it if you want.
I don't mess with that shit. My brother always messed with that.
I don't either. It's not like I love cars and stuff, but the nitty bitty, tiny whiny little things like that. Never
My brother
really
would mess with the camber of his tires and like all kinds of stuff in Gran Turismo, and I'm like, that stuff means nothing to me. I just don't know. Like, but he would always
that's the
make
problem. If you're not sure what you're doing, like, then you probably just make your car worse.
Yeah,
right?
he would always lower his cars and like they would be like lowered and like super stick to the ground.
Camber and you gotta get those things sticky, man. That game is really good.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Really good.
That's why I like the Horizon games.
And like the cool thing about it too is you can just jump in that game and just go drive around.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want,
pretty.
you just
it's
go.
Really freaking pretty.
It's super pretty. And the winter, man. Oh, there's been a couple.
The snow looks pretty rad.
Oh, it looks so cool. There's some viewpoints that are really neat. So you cruise around and hit the viewpoints, and you kind of get like cool shots of like your car with these, landmarks and things like that. I love the crash sections where you can like see how far you can launch your car. Those are like a lot of fun, trying to launch your car 200 plus meters or whatever.
I had trouble with one of those jumps on
I've had trouble with a few of them where I kept getting short by 5 meters. And I was like,
I couldn't 3-star one, and I'm like, clearly you have to get a better car and come back and do this again.
Yeah, maybe in the summer or whatever. Yeah. So, that's that I will say is really interesting is that the seasons really do affect like everything.
Yeah.
Like I did an off-road race in the fall, and it was super muddy and there was mud flying everywhere, and it was a little slick. And then obviously the winter time with the snow and the ice and everything.
Gonna get real slick.
Like, oh yeah. But no, that game, shit, man. If you got Games Pass, like, and even if you don't, like, if you're interested, like,
that's the cool thing with the seasons. It's like it incentivizes you to change instead of always driving the McLaren because it's always summer. And I always want the best, fastest car all the time for every event. The seasons force you out of your comfort zone to use different cars.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the different, obviously having like off-road races and like
but more so like just getting around
like
in the winter, you want something that handles in the snow.
Yep, totally. Yeah, I've been like ripping around in like a Focus RS with winter tires.
So yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah, it's really
you all don't have an excuse to check it out because it's on Game Pass. Unless you don't have a PC or an Xbox, then you have a really good excuse to not check it out. But
that's true. So I kicked off my 14-day trial of Game
you didn't even
Pass.
use a month.
Nope, I haven't needed to yet.
Then you're just making sure you get every last drop out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I wasted my 14-day trial with Sea of Thieves.
I may or may not download Sea of Thieves while I've got it and check it out. I'm not sure.
State of Decay 2 is another one worth checking out.
Super Lucky's Tale, definitely.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, that's where I played the Mega Man. The Mega Man's 1 to 5. I think I stopped at 5.
Yeah, fair enough. I honestly haven't actually
the Legacy Collection
looked through it yet and like looked at all the games that are in there. So I may be adding a few more.
Just to rewind a bit. We were talking about PlayStation VR second anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the new bundles. So there's the Move controller bundle.
Okay.
$349 US or $449 Canadian comes with Creed, Rise to Glory, and Super Hot VR. That makes sense. Cool. VR games that require the Move controllers.
That would be, that would make sense.
If you already have a set of Move controllers, you don't need that bundle. You can just get the lower bundle, which is $299 US or $379 Canadian. But 2 Move controllers on their own, brand new ones with the new micro USB connectors, I think are 130 Canadian or like 100 American, I'd assume. So clearly getting the bundle with the Move controllers, you're probably saving some money, unless you happen to find some used ones or old stock lying around discounted. The thing is older Move controllers have mini USB. So that's the fatter one, right?
Yes, mini USB.
It's
and then
small, but it's
USB.
bigger than the one before USB-C, right? That's micro is the one before USB-C. The one that's on PS4 controllers right now. What is that?
That's micro USB.
Yeah, so that's what the new Move controllers have.
Yeah.
Whereas the old ones have the connector
have,
before that. Because I used to have the old Move controllers.
The mini USB.
Yeah, I used to have the other Move controllers. And I ended up getting the updated headset. So, because it's just easier for all my shit that charges. Because now I have half stuff's USB-C and half the stuff's micro now. It's like a pain in the butt.
Oh, I know.
Eventually everything will be USB-C and then we'll have USB-D. So, just to be a pain in the D.
Little off topic and sort of going into news, but while we're on the tangent of various connectors, the Wi-Fi Alliance has announced that they're, instead of announcing that Wi-Fi is going to be 802.11a and 802.11b and AC and XD and whatever, they're actually renaming Wi-Fi just Wi-Fi 4, Wi-Fi 5, Wi-Fi 6. So the upcoming Wi-Fi standard is going to be Wi-Fi 6. The current AC standard is going to be Wi-Fi 5. And wireless N, as we call it, like 802.11.n, is going to be Wi-Fi 4. And those are kind of the standard moving forward. And they're like, everything is going to be renamed to make it a lot easier for people to like, oh, did you buy the right one? Is your N like compatible with this Wi-Fi? And it's just
people
like,
still aren't going to understand the difference between those and 2.4 and 5 gigahertz and.
Yep, but it's going to make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Especially because at least with Wi-Fi 6 or, AC, 2.4 and 5 have been integrated. Every single one has both.
Mm-hmm.
So moving forward, Wi-Fi 6 will have both regardless, right? So yeah. So little standard talk, not super exciting, but hey.
So this PSVR anniversary, they were talking about, I'm going to take this from the news since we're on it, because we were talking about Astrobot. They announced Borderlands 2 is coming to VR.
Mm-hmm.
December 14th. It's only single player, so and it doesn't support it doesn't support the aim controller.
I feel like that's kind of a what's
yeah, it seems,
I feel like they missed the point of like
Borderlands.
It's
multiplayer, 4 players,
play
shoot 'em
co-op
up
with your friends.
Yeah, it might be neat to check out that world in VR, but yeah, that's going to be a hard pass for me. Then they just reiterated some news like the Tetris Effect coming out November 9th. You can pre-order it now, physical and digital.
Right.
The Astrobot Rescue Mission demo next week. Yeah. And the new headset,
Sweet.
So there you go. If you don't have one already. I'm
Fair
torn
enough.
on Tetris Effect if I want to buy it digitally or physically. It's pretty damn expensive.
Yeah, it's going to be a pass from me, but
I like Tetris.
I like Tetris too, but not enough to spend that kind of money to play it in VR.
Mm-hmm.
There's just too many other games I'd rather play right now.
I believe it's pretty sure Tetris Effect. One player? It's only one player? What? No. It's got to be a versus mode.
Only one player for you. So yeah,
It says in here there's only one player. All right, moving along.
Diving into our news section.
Yeah, let's get into the news. Mega Man is getting a live-action Hollywood film.
Oh dear God.
Yeah.
Do we really need this?
Not a live-action.
I feel like they're gonna fuck this up.
Obviously.
I feel like this is. And maybe I'm wrong. God, I hope they make they tell. Oh, I I feel like this is going to set Mega Man back. They're going to make a bad Mega Man movie. It's going to have terrible CGI Mega Man and all the other stuff, and the story is going to be terrible because, let's be honest, the story in Mega Man is not exactly world-changing as it is.
No, it's just... they should have just got a good animation house to do a CG Mega Man movie.
Or even better, get an awesome anime house to do a proper anime Mega Man.
Yeah. Anything's better than I don't know. Just doesn't make sense.
And also
especially live action.
The other question that I have with this is it actually going to come out? Like how many times before have we heard that there's a movie being made, it's going to be a live action thing of something, and then it just ends up in production hell for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, and it never comes out? I mean, they announced that they're making a Metal Gear Solid movie, 5, 6, 7 years ago, and we're still here, no closer to a Metal Gear Solid movie than we were then. They were making that Uncharted movie at one point, supposedly, and I mean, that's, who knows whatever the hell happened to that. So I mean, assuming this does get made, they're probably going to fuck it up though.
Yeah, and like the director of Paranormal Activity 3 and 4, screams straight to DVD, well, straight to streaming, and straight to nobody asked for this.
Yeah.
Update to Telltale news. The other shoe dropped. They got rid of the remaining employees that were apparently staying on to finish The Walking Dead. So yeah, that put that all up in the air. And then a few days later, Skybound, The Walking Dead's creators of the comic, have said that they're gonna finish the game and try and scrape together some of the original devs to finish the season.
Right.
So yeah, how that looks, or if that's actually going to happen, who freaking knows? I don't know. If I got let go and I was talented, I would not waste a single second of my time doing anything else for this shadow of a company or a title. I would move on, hopefully get my skills into a more dependable dev, and just like walk away.
That being said, maybe if you absolutely needed the cash and you didn't have something else to go on to, it'd be a good way for you to look for something else while you're still making money.
Yeah,
you got to look at it about like that too, right?
That's the only positive light, is maybe for people who haven't been so lucky to find something else, that this can maybe be a little band-aid for a little time being. But what a mess! What a disaster!
Yep.
I can't wait until all the dust settles and we get some of the stories of the who's and how's of how bad they messed this up. Like, we know who, it's executives and management, but I really want to know what kind of stupid shit they were doing.
Well, Megan over at Waypoint did an awesome story about all this, and she talks to a lot of the people that were directly affected by this, and she wrote an incredible article about it. I highly recommend going and checking it out, because she's not talking to people like, oh, this isn't people saying that they heard from so-and-so. This is the people talking about what was going on there, and it's a pretty eye-opening article. I highly recommend anybody go check it out.
Yeah, what a mess. I have no interest. I played season 1. I have season 2. It just
makes me not want to support Telltale, because
I have season 2, because I think it was part of PlayStation Plus or something. I think I have it on like 2 services somehow. I never cared to play it. I was kind of like, whatever.
Yeah.
Me and my wife played season 1, 2 came out, and it's like, I think we may have played the first episode 2, and it's like, what was the main guy's name? Lee? Lee's, spoiler alert, Lee's no longer around. And it's like, I didn't really care for Clem that much. Yeah,
it's not really my jam.
So I just have no desire to play that up. Anyway, whatever. Obviously, I've been playing a lot of Destiny. There's some big patches coming.
Yeah, I see that.
Fixes, adjustments of loot drops. A big thing. There's a quest line that's getting really revamped for an exotic weapon, the Malfeasance hand cannon.
Right.
Apparently, it's tied in with Gambit mode and a particular enemy spawning, and the rate is pretty low. So they're going to be bumping that up. Yeah, they're changing the economy for Masterwork. There's a bunch of stuff. Anyway, I'm not going to go over it all. So there's a patch next week, and as well as the Halloween event starts next week.
Right.
And then the week after that, there's an even bigger patch, and I think that's when they actually are going to be adjusting the drop rates for exotics and stuff. If you want to see that stuff, it is in the show notes under the Destiny 2 story there.
Sweet.
Kingdom Hearts is getting the Story So Far collection. It features 6 games in one package.
How many times have these games been re-released and remastered and released?
Well, now
balls.
they're bundling it all up for you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I love that we're at Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out.
It's so confusing.
Is coming out, and yet there are 6 Kingdom Hearts games that are already out.
I don't.
What the fuck?
I can't tell. Apparently, it's the Story So Far collection. But then it's Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5, 2.8, final chapter prologue. I don't understand what's going on. Isn't it just Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2? What's with the bajillion versions? Anyway, it's $40. Comes out October 30th. US only, PlayStation 4 only. So this isn't even on Xbox. It's a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, I mean,
it might come to
because
Xbox.
Those original, those games were PS2 and PS3 exclusives, right? So
I was maybe I should check. There's a billion games here, and I have no idea. This is just confusing because they had the worst naming conventions ever.
Oh my gosh. Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts RE Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 358/2 Days. Apparently that has HD remastered cinematics. Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts RE Coded, also HD remastered cinematics. And then it includes the HD 2.8 final chapter prologue. I'm so this to me makes no sense at all, and I'm looking at it
that's cool.
$39.99. It is a US only release at this time. I don't know if that means Canada as well or not.
Yeah, it's North America.
Sometimes US only means Canada as well. Sometimes it literally means US only. So
moving along.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts collection.
Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out.
For those of you super interested in knowing what's going on before number 3 comes out.
Apparently.
You can't see my head on audio, but I'm shaking my head back and forth.
So stupid.
Left Alive gets a launch date, March 5th. That was that Metal Gear-esque front mission mech robot stealth action game that we saw at PAX, which looks super duper mega early.
It was. I'm surprised. I honestly,
I didn't.
When we saw that,
it didn't look like it's ready to come out in March to me. That's for sure.
Did not think that as well, but maybe we were looking at an old build.
Listen to our PAX episode to hear what we had to say about that. But yeah, so there's a link from PlayStation Blog with all the different versions and tchotchkes and nonsense that comes with it. March 5th.
Yeah.
Wow, that Mech Edition looks cool. I'm just a sucker for mechs. I love cool looking robots.
So they also announced the big Day 1 edition that includes the Mech Edition. They announced the Mech Edition, which includes the Day 1 edition, which has a bunch of DLC in it, as well as a Volk action figure, which is a giant mech figurine, which is kind of interesting.
Does it show the cost here? They don't even have the cost here. It's probably super expensive.
It's
Anyway.
like $200 or something stupid like that.
Stardew Valley is coming to mobile. First on iOS. Obviously, I assume it'll be on Android later on. That's not the story that I meant to click on.
Oh.
The link is pointing to the wrong story. Oh, there
I'm
you go.
looking at the proper one.
I got it.
2 weeks coming to mobile. So apparently it's getting ported by a London studio called The Secret Police. So they are apparently worked alongside the publisher Chucklefish and the original creator,
$8.
Concerned Ape, to make sure that it lives up to the other versions of the game. Touchscreen controls and a redesigned UI have been developed for the mobile version. Apparently, this is the coolest part. The cool part is that the players of the PC version will be able to transfer their save via iTunes and continue expanding their existing farms.
That's really cool.
Of course, mods are not supported, but at least you can still take your farm on the go. That's actually really cool.
$8.
Because I dropped 50 hours into that game.
No additional. So that's $8 US. No additional in-app purchases. So it's a full game.
Wow.
Released on October 24th. A release window for Android was not provided.
I'm super curious how that game will control and stuff.
That seems like a game that will control just fine. I'm sure you could use a Bluetooth controller as well. And
yeah. I'm just trying to think how you would certain things,
or just play it on Switch with a bigger screen and better controls.
Yeah.
But then you got to pay Switch tax.
There you go. Either way, pretty cool.
What a great game.
Yeah.
Moving along. So apparently,
some Nintendo news.
Yeah, there's rumors of a new upgraded Switch to launch in 2019. This is on the Wall Street Journal, suggesting that a new system is going to come out next year. They really, besides that, there's talking to suppliers and other people familiar with the matter. Nintendo is mulling a new screen display and with an alternative that's brighter, thinner, and lighter than the current screen. What would you want in an updated Switch, Dane?
I think I would like 3 things in an updated Switch. And I'm only talking hardware here. I'm not going to dive into software because there's lots of things I would like out of software. Hardware-wise, I would like if they were to make the bezel on the screen smaller but keep the same size, but just increase the screen size into that. I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
I would love to see the Switch have higher resolution, but I don't necessarily know if that's feasible.
I'm fine with the 720, but yeah. If you could go 1080, sweet.
That also being said, one of the things that I would really like to see would be better battery life, so I don't necessarily know if going to a higher resolution screen would help that very much. And I feel like they could do a way better job with the kickstand. I feel like you could build in some sort of stand that was adjustable so that you could adjust the angle that wouldn't completely fuck up everything instead of just this little shitty...
Yeah, I'm scared to use the kickstand.
The kickstand is so bad. It is beyond useless. I was on the airplane coming back from Vegas and I kind of propped it up. I was like, yeah, this is stupid. I'm like, why am I even going to bother trying this? So I mean, I feel like those are kind of my 3 things that I would like to see if they were going to be revamping the hardware. I mean, obviously if money and everything wasn't an option, I'd love to see them put some thicker guts inside the thing. But I know that the Tegra 2 came out, but I think that that's starting to just get into the territory of 1, it would be too expensive, and 2, it would split your user base already, and I don't think that you're far enough along.
They could
at this point.
They could do one with the Tegra 2 and you just don't make games only for it. You get faster loading times and better performance, but
Right.
Not like a Switch
But
2 only versions.
Yeah, but historically Nintendo hasn't been great when they release like new hardware with faster internals of utilizing
like
that.
The new 3DS.
Yeah, like there's a couple games that
There's literally
require
like
it.
maybe 3 games.
Yeah, and then the rest of the games it doesn't really do anything for them. So
because you don't making those games is what splits your player base. So if you don't have many, then it's not a big fu to the people who didn't upgrade. But yeah, I'm on the same page with you. Like that bezel is ginormous. You could increase the screen on the Switch easily by an inch without changing the form factor.
Totally.
Yeah. The other thing I would like, obviously, battery life. 2 other things: better Wi-Fi, because it has terrible Wi-Fi. It does not have good. Either it has just too small antennas or just bad antenna placement. I don't know, but the Switch does not have the best Wi-Fi reception. And I would like an option to have a proper D-pad on the right Joy-Con.
Oh yes,
like get rid of the arrow keys and just make a first party. There's shells and aftermarket shells and stuff that you can change. And
what? The left Joy-Con, you mean, or the
the left in your left hand instead of using the arrow
sorry, you
keys.
said the right one, and I was like, wait a minute, wouldn't I want it in the left hand?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I said. I don't listen to myself. I just open my mouth, stuff comes out.
I'm actually surprised that they haven't released a Joy-Con.
There is
like as an aftermarket.
Hori makes one,
right? But I just mean Nintendo. See, like this is always the stuff that drives me crazy about Nintendo is that there's blatantly obvious ways for them to make shitloads of fucking money that they just don't do. This is like a perfect situation. Like release a Joy-Con with a proper D-pad that works just like a regular one, but for people to use it for games that require it.
Yeah. Like Mega Man.
And sell it for whatever the fucking price you already sell it for.
1 million 2D indie platformers your system has. Like Hori makes one, but it doesn't have any of like the goodies. Like it doesn't have HD rumble. It doesn't have like
and it actually has to be plugged in. You can't use it by itself
and
either.
It's not even wireless.
It has to be
exactly. It only works in the Switch.
So
apparently,
that's what I mean.
It's not very expensive, but still, it's not a perfect solution.
But like I said, that's why. Like that to me is an easy fix. Like you release one, people can buy it if they want it. They don't need to if they don't want it. End of discussion.
So I guess to me, to get more battery life with a bigger screen that's a challenge in itself.
Not necessarily. The screen that they use is pretty shitty old technology.
So if they got a more efficient screen, they could get more battery life without getting a bigger battery or changing the form factor. Yeah,
you could do bigger screen, better screen, and probably more efficient screen, and probably cheaper screen at this point. Mm-hmm. That was one of the things that was sort of speculated about, was that maybe by going to like a newer screen technology, they would actually end up saving money, because right now nobody's really building these screens anymore, like because it's older technology and they're moving away from it now.
It's an IPS screen, right?
I don't believe so. I honestly don't know.
Anyway.
I would actually have to look at mine. I doubt it. I doubt that it's IPS.
From Nintendo's past upgrades, I assume it's just going to be a couple little things. Nothing game changing. I doubt they'll do like a pro version. That would piss people off, I think.
It also wouldn't surprise me if they make some changes internally and release it and don't even say anything about it.
That's true. The 3DS got better screens over time.
Like, you know what I mean? Like they just, they made changes on the back end. It got a different SKU number, but like it was essentially the same.
Got IPS screens, but not across the board, just in certain batches.
Right.
And you could even get ones that were like half TN, half IPS.
Oh, wow. That's
I think one of my 3DSs is an IPS top screen and a TN bottom, and one of them's 2 IPS screens.
Oh, jeez.
I know, how dumb is that, eh?
That's real dumb. But that's very Nintendo. Yeah, exactly. So, and who knows? This could also kind of be like BS for all we know.
This other story, more rumor and
conjecture.
Nintendo has patented a working Game Boy shell for your smartphone.
And by your smartphone, and they mean your iPhone, I'm sure.
They don't call out iPhone, but anyway, it looks cool. It's a cool patent. It looks neat. It's basically like a shell that closes on your phone, and it basically makes your phone look like a Game Boy. I'm sure it runs with some Nintendo Game Boy app, and the buttons like simulate, touching the screen. But you got an old school D-pad and A/B button, select start. It is a patent. Apparently, it's not the newest patent. It's like from months ago. It'd be kind of cool if this worked.
That'd be neat for sure.
Yeah, I assume it probably works with just any phone. It's just the case just has certain phones it works with and doesn't work with. Probably has inserts depending on your phone. They probably go with the most popular phones, I assume, unless it has some kind of adjusting. I just thought it was a neat little patent. That would be cool, but I don't think I really want to play Game Boy games on my phone. But it might be a cool looking case though. Game Boy.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Like the case itself is kind of neat looking.
Yeah. We'll see if that ever comes to light. There's so many patents out there that nothing come of them. Moving along, PlayStation news. PlayStation Plus games for November sneakily revealed, and then
that's early.
Pulled away. I don't know. They were on Sony's official site.
Interesting.
He was listing November's games instead of October's. Basically, they had Yakuza Kiwami and Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition. The listing didn't mention any PS3 games, just the PS4 games. Those are both pretty good games. Yakuza Kiwami is pretty sweet.
That's crazy.
So we'll see what happens in November if this sticks. Because this went up and then it was promptly taken down by Sony, but that was on Sony's official site. So
interesting. Well, we'll get to see whether or not that's for real or not later on this year.
Do we need to talk about this next story? I don't think we need, do we?
No.
Okay. We'll delete that. Boop. Sony patent sparks PlayStation 5 backwards compatibility rumors again. Someone's been digging through the patent freaking... The patent.
It's not surprising. Like they're talking in this particular thing, they're talking about remastering by emulation. The file date was from 2 years ago, so this has been something. Who knows? Like, I don't know. This could be to do with PlayStation 5, but this could also just be them making sure that they patent their shit for making their remastered better. Although this apparently is a patent for remastering on the fly, more or less. Like it talks about how it can use remastering old textures and things like that and replacing them as you're playing based on like hardware and things like that. So
hence why the internet went crazy with PS5 might be backwards compatible.
Yeah,
which would be freaking rad, because that's a huge
pretty awesome.
Strong suit in Xbox's court right now. I don't know how they know the numbers. I'm sure not a lot of people use them, but like I look behind me and I see my 360 sitting there, which I haven't turned on since Xbox One X came out.
Right,
but I have played 360 games on my One X.
Oh, for sure.
And it's like, I don't need my 360. Like, I don't even really need it, because all the best games are like, almost all of them are backwards compatible now.
Yep.
So it's like, anyway. Yeah,
it'll be interesting. Like, this is always an interesting time when the games start to get really, like, you start hearing little rumors about the tech that might be coming out, and I like the beginning of a hardware cycle. It's always exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think we still got a couple more years to go, but
no, so do I. But I mean, that's the thing, right? It's like right now they're kind of getting into it. The rumors are starting to fly.
The rumor mill is a stirring.
Is the next console going to have 16 gigs of RAM? Oh, it's going to be running a Ryzen processor. I mean, who knows what's going to happen, right?
We talked about this next story already, and it was Borderlands 2 coming to VR. This one's
probably the biggest news for a lot of people, apparently. Personally, I don't really care, but for some people, this was like, whew, wow.
This has been on the top list of Sony PlayStation fanboys for a long time. PSN online ID change feature is entering PlayStation preview program soon. So if you've been a beta tester of some of the PS4 system software betas, you potentially may get invited to this. Basically, changing your PSN online ID. There's some information on how the system works here. If you're in this program, the first change is free. Changes after that will cost $10, US and Canadian. It's the same, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then for PlayStation Plus members, it'll cost $5 US Canadian after the first change for any other changes made up after that.
Yeah.
When you change your ID, you have the option to display your previous ID with your new ID so your friends can recognize you. Once you decide to display your old ID or not, you won't be able to adjust this after completing the online ID change process. It's only compatible with PS4 games originally published after April 1st, 2018.
Of this year.
April Fools, it's a joke. We're not making name changes. It's just a joke. We got you to read this far. No. So yeah, it's obviously a case-by-case game system going backwards from there as to what's going to support it. They go into that some features will be broken with some games and that it doesn't fully launch until next year, and then a list of compatible games will also be available next year when this feature's like fully available. So good, not perfect.
Yeah,
finally, like
I mean, I think it's interesting that they're finally doing this. It sounds like this is definitely gonna be, I guess if you're a diehard fan, you really hate your name and you only play brand new stuff and you're never gonna play stuff that's a little bit older, this might be a great way for you to go. I don't know, look like the possibility of it breaking some of your old games.
It's probably just like lists, right? Like scoreboards and stuff. Like the games are gonna play still.
I don't know. Like it's,
or maybe even you can't play games multiplayer. Like I guess it's in preview. Like obviously it's early, but it's like hey, it's coming.
Yeah, no, like I said, I've got my name, so I have a reason to change mine. So
some asshole has the name I wanted. So now, if there was a feature where I could go to his house, beat him to a bloody pulp, and steal his name, so I could use it, that'd be a more compelling feature for me. But I guess if I was weed smoker, blunt roller, 420, like
you could probably get away with it.
I'm 24 years old now, as opposed to 14 when I made it. I might want to change it, but that's cool. Good. I don't know. You've been able to do that on Xbox for like decades now. Or over a decade.
Ultimately, the way that they implemented names is why it's a problem. Yeah. It's because they tied everything to your ID and not an to alias. Like a number, which they can then assign a name to. Like it's all back-end database bullshit.
It's like hard-coded to your names. That's the problem.
They've hard-coded everything to the name instead of,
like you said, an identifier, like a number.
Yeah, it's really stupid. But I'm sure that at the time it was like, oh, it'll be fine. We won't have to worry about that. And nobody thought about the repercussions
said Sony,
of it.
The not software guys.
Hey, man, it's stuff like this which is why Microsoft X'd the original Xbox Live, right? After a while they were just like,
right.
we gotta get rid of the original Xbox Live because we gotta be able to get rid of that so that we can move forward with and not have to worry about it, right? So it's always a learning curve with all this stuff.
So
that's cool.
Finally.
There you go.
5-10 years too late.
I have a sneaky suspicion it'll probably be more hassle than it's worth, but hey.
Xbox news. Microsoft announces game streaming service Project xCloud. xCloud. Everyone's getting in the streaming business. Google, now Xbox. Actually, Xbox talked about doing this at E3. They're testing it now. Apparently, more details and more. I guess the system will launch or open testing next year.
That's what I understand.
People streaming Forza on a cell phone or a tablet. And I assume.
And I mean, it looks like they're working on trying to actually make it so that you could play using Bluetooth controllers, like Bluetooth Xbox controllers with over 4G and 5G networks as it becomes available. So, I mean, it really looks like they want to be able to...
The whole messaging was, we want you to have your games on whatever platform or device, wherever you are. Which is great, because this is, like, I'm not going to lie, on my lunch break today, I was playing Assassin's Creed on remote play on my MacBook.
Right.
Like, you've been able to do that forever on PlayStation. With a good connection, 720p, it plays flawlessly. Yeah. Besides a couple blips with Wi-Fi interference, it was awesome.
Yeah. No,
like,
that's fair.
Totally playable. Clearly, it's not 4K and amazing like when I'm playing natively on my Pro.
Sure.
But to grind out side missions and just get in half an hour on a lunch break, it was awesome.
Yeah.
I want to do this in my Xbox.
That's only streaming from your house, right?
Like, yeah, from my house over the internet.
Right. And I mean, this is a whole...
I'm in
connecting into the cloud and all.
I am in a unique position with my employment that I have access to multiple high-speed internet connections around the city.
Yes,
which is something very unique to me, which also makes streaming a very I'm super ahead of the curve on this. We've clearly gone over multiple times.
You don't have 5G yet, so you're not that ahead of the curve.
No, but I've got 5 gigabit. Or gigahertz internet 50, which is more than enough for this stuff. So, anyway.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like at lunch break, I played some Assassin's Creed, and then in my afternoon break, I was at a different office, and I did some GeForce Now and I just did some bounties on Destiny really quick.
Oh, nice. There you go.
So it's like, I don't know. I'm all for the streaming feature. Obviously, it doesn't look as good as playing locally. And this is wireless. Now, if I hardwired, it would be even better. But my MacBook, I'm too cheap to buy an Ethernet adapter for it, so I'm stuck to using wireless. But this is cool.
Yeah,
I'll be able to play my Xbox games now on those lunch breaks.
Yeah, assuming they figure out pricing and all that fun stuff, and it's worth it.
Yeah, so. I imagine it'll be like part of Xbox Live. I would hope, considering remote play doesn't cost you anything extra.
I think you're mistaking, though, what this is versus... This isn't remote play. That's the point.
No, yeah, this is like GeForce
This is leveraging... Yeah, this is leveraging their
This
Azure
is you're
cloud.
playing an Xbox in the cloud hardware.
Exactly.
It's not streaming from your home.
This is their bandwidth. This is their servers. There will definitely be a cost involved with this at some point, because this is,
part of Xbox Game Pass Gold streaming live. $30 a month.
Games Pass, xCloud, Live. Yeah. So, it's still cool, though. It's neat to see the technology moving forward.
Yeah, it's nice to get more information at what they alluded to at E3, so...
Yeah, for sure.
When are we going to be able to do this? Like, we talked about it. Remember, I downloaded that app like a few months ago to stream from my Xbox to my laptop, in-home streaming?
Yeah.
Because you could stream to your PC with the Xbox app, but you couldn't do it on Mac, and I found that Moonlight app.
Yes, right. We talked about that.
Because I wanted to do some in-home... sometimes when you're in the living room and you want to be present, like family members are watching TV... You could play, do some Forza on your laptop. Be in the same room. You're still distracted and playing a game, but You're not in your
At
hidey
least
hole
you're
man
sitting
cave.
side by side.
Yeah, you're not in your man cave or your hidey hole or whatever away from
Right.
the family. You're kind of present, not present.
Gotcha.
We got no public service announcements this week. I guess we can move right into our free-for-all section.
Yeah.
Dane, you have something written down here, just keeping up on the newest, greatest, hottest movie releases here.
Shut up. Look, when it comes to certain films, it's a little hard for me because my wife isn't into those, so I gotta find time to watch those by myself.
This is the movie you watched on Monday before you played the heck out of Forza?
So I watched Alien Covenant on Monday morning before I started playing games.
Okay, what does she not like about it? She doesn't like scary movies, or she doesn't like sci-fi or aliens?
She's just not big on like the horror kind of scary aliens.
I watched it with my wife.
Like, we tried to watch the first Alien movie, and she I don't know. We haven't. To be fair, I haven't tried to watch the second one with her, which she might like because it's a little more of an.
Good. They're very
the second
different
one's
movies,
more of an action.
Yeah,
movie
they're very
versus,
different movies.
Yeah. This, like, I don't know. I can't remember. To be fair, it did come out in 2017. Did you see this?
Yes, I did.
This felt more like Prometheus 2 than an Alien movie.
Yeah,
personally,
I don't know. I didn't really like it.
Like it.
There's cool
It
imagery.
takes place almost like not directly after, but like it takes place a few years after the events in Prometheus, and it has a very, especially the first like half of the film has a very Prometheus vibe to it. I don't know. Like, I honestly watched it and I kind of, I honestly wasn't the biggest fan. Like, I think I actually liked Prometheus more.
I like Prometheus.
Like I said, I liked Prometheus more than this movie. This movie did some weird stuff, and I get the whole, it's asking the bigger questions and who is the creator and blah blah blah. But it felt like the very end, you know, when they were actually fighting the real, I mean, alien, I guess. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's a movie that I'm conflicted, where the first half kind of started interesting, like a follow-up to Prometheus.
Yeah.
And then the second quarter of the movie, I would say,
second act.
I don't even know if I'd call the whole second half. I mean, sure, for simplicity, we'll call it the second half. Felt definitely more like an Alien movie.
Yeah, it was like two movies, and it didn't know what it wanted to be.
Like exactly. Like, it felt so strange, and there was this like section directly in the middle that kind of felt really out of place. That was like this weird crossover area where it was like the Prometheus stuff was like it just the two tonally it really got conflicted. I felt like where yeah.
I liked Michael Fassbender. I liked some of the visuals, but this overall, I didn't hate it, but it was just like, I'm like, we still don't have the Aliens movie we deserve.
Yes, thank you. I feel like Alien and Aliens are still like incredible movies, and
either make another goddamn Aliens movie or make another good Alien movie. But they're doing this other weird shit in between that it just always seemed they seem to miss the mark every time.
I felt like with Prometheus,
though I did like Prometheus.
I felt like with Prometheus, though, they tried to explain too much.
And in my opinion, Prometheus is its own thing. Hence why there's no aliens in the title at all.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. But I mean, this movie as a follow-up is very clearly has lots to do with, like, I don't know, at least with this movie then, I felt like they tried too hard to explain literally what the aliens were, where they came from, and everything. And like that was partly what made the aliens in the previous, especially in the first three films, so interesting, is that that was the mystery. Nobody really knew where they came from.
Mm-hmm.
Where was there, like, you kind of understood that there was a queen and that there was these, we kind of understood the life cycle, but where they fully came from, that was all kind of a mystery.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was interesting. And I feel like they answered that question in the least interesting way possible. And they almost tried to explain too much, and there just wasn't any mystery left.
No, but it's like really cool. Like, they're not just like monsters. They're like a weapon, but a super advanced race. Yeah.
But really, like, alien virus? Like, I just, this... it was a disappointment. Like, I finished it and I was like, I don't know if I'm actually glad that I watched that or not.
Yeah, it was fine. I don't think I'll ever watch it again.
That, yes.
Though, like, if I saw Prometheus on TV, or I would
funny.
Watch it again.
This actually made me want to go back and watch Prometheus again, because I felt like that had
I liked Prometheus because Prometheus spelled out some stuff, but then a lot of stuff at the end was like, there was a lot of questioning at the end of Prometheus as well, which is always fun when you leave a movie and it makes you ask a bunch of questions.
Right. And then this movie came along and answered all of those, and you're just kind of like, oh.
And it's not as cool as you wanted the answers to be.
Exactly.
That's where it gets disappointing.
Yeah. It was less interesting than you had imagined.
I really wanted to watch Venom, but that just didn't happen.
I was in the similar boat. I thought about it on Monday. I was like, do I leave the house and go watch Venom, or do I not put pants on and just play video games?
Not putting pants on and just playing video games is a really good...
That's what won out, clearly.
Dane?
Yo.
I'm going to say with that,
That's a show.
At the end of our show. Episode... Oops, while I bang my head on the mic. Episode 176 is in the gigabits and in your ear holes. You can follow me on Twitter at RickF, no K, RICF.
As always, you can come bug me on Twitter at Dane Cody, at DAYNECODY.
Housekeeping. Remember to join our Discord. Link is in the podcast show notes. Make a little effort. Find the welcome post that has a list of free games. If you join our Discord, follow the instructions, get yourself a free PC game. There's like over 120 there. Ooh. Also, the Discord is nice. Obviously you can hit us up on Twitter, but Discord's nice little chat room we have going on every day. It'd be cool to see more activity. It's fun when we're all in there talking. I am also taking questions from the Discord, so any questions further future in the show, just leave them in the CQC section of the Discord. The questions, no comments, questions, and concerns channel on the Discord, and hopefully you'll hear yourself get answered in a future episode. I did not make any calls for questions the last couple weeks because I've been goddamn busy, but don't have to wait for me to ask. If you are yelling at your podcast app or your headphones or your phone, is like, that goddamn Rico, he's an idiot, he's wrong, this is blah, blah, blah. Go hit up that Discord, leave a comment, leave a question, that's interact with us there, and of course take part of the chats on what you've been playing, our BS section channels and stuff as well. It's a lot of fun. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, whatever the hell you do on Instagram. I don't need
post photos.
Follow. I guess it's follow on Instagram as well. We're Geekoholics everywhere. And if
like
you
an old man not knowing what's going on these things,
Exactly.
What's going on? I don't these internets these days.
I don't even have Snapchat or Facebook on my phone, so I'm over that stuff. Anyway, also if you have an Apple device and you can if you are using iTunes or Apple Podcast app, please leave us a review. That always helps us with the logarithms of the magic of the internet and discovering new listeners and growing the show, of course. And thank you for sticking with us for almost 2 hours here while we rattle away talking about stuff we love. And hopefully you had a good time, because I did. It was good for me. Was it good for you?
Yeah, it's okay. I've had better.
Until next week, I'm going to say we're out.
Go play some games.
Peace.